Hello everyone. This meeting or this video is about the present perfect. In this video, in this lesson, we will learn how to form the present perfect tense, when to use the present perfect tense, and how to form negative and questions in the present perfect tense. Usage. When do we use the present perfect tense? Usually we use the present perfect tense in order to express an action that is still going on or that stopped recently but has an influence on the present. It puts emphasis on the result. Now I want to make this clear. Usually we confuse between the use of present perfect and past simple. The present perfect talks about the thing that happened in the past. That thing could be ended by now, but is still relevant or has an impact or an influence on us at this moment. So if the thing happened in the past and ended, and there is a specific time expression, so the action is completed, then we have to use past simple. If the action started in the past and is still going on until this moment, so we have to use the present perfect. Or if the action ended and has but still has an influence on us, so we use the present perfect. Okay, let's look at this timeline. Probably this will make things easier for you to understand. So in the timeline we have the past, this is the past, and this is the present, and this is the future. Now, the present perfect is here, is the linkage, the connection between the past and the present. It should appear in this area. It's the link, the connection between the past and the present. Okay, let's look at the forms. How do we form the present perfect? We usually add have or has plus verb 3. For example, I have arrived, you have arrived, we have arrived, they have arrived. With he, she, it, we use has plus verb 3. He has arrived, she has arrived, it has arrived. The negative form, we simply add not after have or has and before verb 3. I have not arrived, you have not arrived, we have not arrived. You can also say we haven't arrived, they have not arrived, he, she, it hasn't arrived. The question form, we simply put have or has at the beginning, then the subject, then verb 3, and we end it with a question. Have I arrived? Have you arrived? Have we arrived? Have they arrived? Has he or she or it arrived? Okay, let's look at more examples. She has used a cash register before. She has used a cash register before. This is the present perfect, has used. Now here we use the present perfect for two reasons. First reason is that we do not know when she did it. Before is not a specific time expression, okay? The second reason is probably the action is not complete. It's incomplete, okay? Probably she's still doing it today or at the present. The second example, he has worked for that company since May. Now here we have since, which shows a starting point of time. So he has worked for that company since May. I have a question for you here. He has worked for that company since May. Does that mean that now at present he is still working there? Or does it mean that he stopped working there? What do you think? Exactly, he is still working there because of since. Since in Arabic means mundo, which means the action is still going on. We have already served their food. Now look at the comment I wrote you here. In these examples, the verb 3 has a regular form and looks just the simple past tense, but it's not, okay? It looks like this is past simple. It's not, because we have has and have, right? Okay, so it's use, used, we add d, work, worked, we add ed, serve, served, we add d. So this is the regular form of the verb 3. Okay, let's have more examples. I have already eaten breakfast. She has seen that movie before. We have dealt with customers for many years. Look at the footnote here. In these examples, the verb 3 has an irregular form. Okay, you know, irregular. Eat, ate, eaten. See, saw, seen. Deal, dealt, and dealt. Okay, let's move on. In the present perfect, we usually use since and for. So let's start with since. We use since to talk about a specific point in time, or a time when the action started. That's important, a time when the action started. I have lived here since I was born. Now the action started since I was born. Does that mean that I am still living here? Absolutely, it does. She hasn't or has not walked here since 2010. She hasn't walked here since 2010. This means that not doing that action is still relevant in present. She hasn't since a starting point of time. Now for, we use for to talk about a period of time, a few days, half an hour, 2 years, okay? The length of time. He has studied in Dublin for 3 years, Now, does that mean that he is still studying in Dublin today? No, no. But we are talking about the length of the period when he studied there, okay? Never and ever. Two expressions that you see or find in reading and listening and watching TV, reading a book, wherever you go. Now, we use never in the present perfect in affirmative sentences that do not use not, but the meaning is negative. Okay, for example, I have never cheated in an exam. We didn't use here not, but the meaning is negative. Abadan, I have never cheated in an exam. Okay, never means abadan. Okay, ever, we use ever in interrogative, in question sentences. Okay, if we want to ask a question. For example, in the present perfect, have you ever been to the United States? And the answer should be, yes, I have been to the United States. If I haven't been to the United States, I would say I have never been to the United States. All right. Other expressions that we use with the present perfect is already and just. These two expressions are very common. Now, what do they mean? We use already to express that something has happened sooner than expected. Something happened sooner than expected. For example, is Adam going to buy a new car? No, the answer, no, he isn't. He has already bought it. So it's sooner than expected. The action happened sooner than expected, so we use already. We use just to express a recently completed action, an action that was completed very recently, not far away from now, from the present. The guests have just arrived. I am talking to my friend on the phone, and he's asking me, do you have guests? I say, yes, the guests have just arrived. All right, let's move to yet. We use yet in questions and negative sentences. And what does it mean? It means a time later than expected. Later than expected. We can say in Arabic, more or less, we can translate it into لحد الآن. For example, has your father seen your report? You came back home, you have a report, and I'm asking you, has your father seen your report? And you answer, no, he hasn't seen it yet. لحد الآن in Arabic. He hasn't seen it yet. All right, let's go to this exercise that I prepared for you and try to solve the questions that I prepared. Okay, let's talk about this question. She never ride a horse before. Now, before we start the exercise, we have to make sure either to use the past simple or the present perfect, because usually we confuse the usage of past simple and present perfect. We don't confuse the use of present perfect and future simple, okay? Let's see. She never ride a horse before. What do you think? She never ride a horse before. Is there a time expression here? No. So we have to use exactly the present perfect. She has, you use the small letters, she has never ridden a horse before. Let's check the answer. Exactly. Okay. We see you on Friday. Now pay attention, if we have time expression, a specific time expression, so we have to use the past simple, not the present perfect. We see you on Friday. We, what's the past simple of see? So, exactly. Good. Where did Ali go last month? Last month, past simple. So the answer, the question is in the past simple, the answer must be in the past simple. He abroad. Exactly, he went abroad. Good. Let's move on. The Central Park never hold festivals, concerts, and other events for teenagers. Now, look at this sentence. Do you find a time expression in this sentence? No. Excellent. So we have to use the present perfect. Okay, so the Central Park, it's singular, then has. Never, verb 2 of hold, held, and verb 3 of hold is held as well. Has never held festivals. Excellent. I go on holiday last week. We have last week. It's easy. It should be past simple. Excellent. I went on holiday last week. Okay. Sammy played with his new toy when he was little. Look at when he was little. So this is a time expression. When Sammy played. Excellent. Okay. And the last example, I already eat dinner. I already eat dinner. So it should be I have already ate, and verb 3 is eaten dinner. Excellent. So with this, we come to the end of our meeting today, and I wish you all the best.